New kill leader. Watch for them.
Care package being delivered.
Care package. Calling the airstrike.
Enemy down.
What's up guys, Metal here. Today I wanted to do a review of Apex Legends, which is the new free-to-play battle royale from the developers of Titanfall, Respawn Entertainment. It's published by EA, it's on Origin, and it's on PC and Xbox and PS4. I've played for about 30 hours now over the week. I love this game. It's great. So I want to tell you the things I like about it. Some neutral things, well, just one neutral thing, and things I dislike about it. Overall, I highly recommend it. I really advise you guys check it out on your platform of choice. Alright, so here's the things I like. The gameplay, well, the gunplay, not the gameplay, is really good feeling. Obviously, it's from the developers of Titanfall and the same studio there's a lot of the same guys that made Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare 2. There's a wide variety of viable weapons, and then the other cool thing is that the attachments really make them feel different and valuable. There's a lot of different kinds of ones that really change how a weapon performs, such as a attachment that gives a burst weapon a select fire, attachments that increase headshot multipliers so it becomes more valuable to go for headshots, or an attachment that makes a gun that slowly increases its rate of fire increase it much faster. The most interesting thing about this game is its character system. That's the biggest thing that it brings to Battle Royale. The game is designed around three-man teams. There's only a three-man queue option, so you're either going to play with two of your friends, or you're going to play with randoms. I think that the team-based system was a really good idea to bring tactical choices into the more fast-paced combat of this Battle Royale. It's closer in its pacing to something like Blackout, but because of the tactical abilities of these heroes, it becomes more about the choices you make instead of just raw positioning and reflexes. So each character has a passive, tactical, and ultimate ability. You can only have one character per team, no repeats. There's 8 total heroes in the game right now. You start with 6 unlocked, and there's going to be 1 added with each season every 3 months, according to some of the information that they've released so far. I mentioned that you have to play in three-man teams. There's a really good ping system in the game that allows for effective communications even with your random teammates. This has finally innovated someone's at that tree over there into being a good call out. You can just ping them and say they're at that tree over there, and then your team can look for the tree that's highlighted, which is it's amazing. That tree over there is now useful information. And then the other awesome teamwork feature that is in this game that is definitely needed for a battle royale is that you can revive your teammates. So when someone goes down, they crawl around like in PUBG or Fortnite or anything else, and you can revive them from that state and they'll keep all their gear. If they bleed out or get shot dead while they're crawling around, you can take what's called their banner from their body, which is like this little flash card you plug into your phone for some reason. Anyway, you run off with it and bring it to certain spots on the map where you can then bring your team back into the game from a dropship. They won't have any of their items, but they'll be back in the game, and we've had some situations where our team has died early, we've lost people, we've been able to revive and still come back and win the game, which wouldn't happen in any other battle royale. I also just like that, sometimes because of this function, it becomes a smart decision to retreat from a fight, recover your dead teammates, and then just bring them back somewhere else, and then try to win the game. Getting in a bad fight doesn't mean the game is over for you in this battle royale, which I think is a huge difference from PUBG and its other competitors. Of course, this is coming from the developers of Titanfall, so there's a lot of mobility. Mainly it revolves around your slides and your climbs. You can also obviously jump. So when you're going downhill, you can slide for a lot of momentum. You can slide on flat ground, obviously. If you time it right, you'll gain a little bit of momentum. And it allows for a lot of motion. There's also zip lines placed around the map that you can zip up or down. And there's these things called, we've been calling them redeploy balloons. I don't know if they have a technical term in the game, but it's basically a zip line straight up into the air attached to a balloon. You hook onto it, you fly up in the air, and then you launch probably about 200 meters, 200 yards, something like that. So that can allow you to quickly reposition as well. there's a lot of verticality in the game because of the climbing system, where you can jump into a wall and climb about 10 feet, so like about a story. Because of that, and because of the hooks, things like that, the zip lines rather. There's also a character with grappling hooks and who can deploy a zip line, so you can get on any building you want with him. But it adds a lot of verticality, which I think for the most part is a good thing. There's one thing I dislike about it, and I'll talk about that later. But for the most part, I really like it. And the most part of the map, it works really great. Little thing, but the music is really badass. It's been stuck in my head now for a couple days. Sounds really good as you drop in and at the main menu. The last thing that I wanted to go over that I really like about this game is that, in my opinion, it's a free-to-play and it has a really fair model. So it's mostly monetized. There's 3 currencies. There's a premium currency because, of course, there's a currency you get from loot boxes that you can use to buy skins that you want. You get it at a slow rate, but most of the things are pretty cheap that you can buy, besides legendaries, which are really expensive. But you can buy like white and blue tier things really easily. And then there's the 3rd currency, which you earn from leveling up, which you can use to buy champions. The 2 champions that aren't currently locked that are currently locked can be bought either for premium currency or the in-game currency. It's about $7, $7.50 to buy them for real money, or it is about it's 12 hours for the first one, they said, and then I think probably, well, I have unlocked one of them with my 30-hour play, and then I'm probably about halfway to unlocking the other one now that I'm at 30, so I'm going to guess it's probably going to take me like 24, 30 hours on top of the first 12 to get to the second one. But honestly, I think that the unlockable heroes are pretty shit compared to the base 6, so I don't really care. I might just save the actual points I have to see what they add later, but anyway, that's beyond the point. I think it's a really fair free-to-play model. Anything that changes your gameplay can be earned by playing the game, and it's still not really an advantage, it's just different gameplay. The one thing I wanted to mention that's kind of neutral and depends on your taste, because of the mobility as well as some of the like shielding abilities that you have, like there's drop shields for when you're down, you can put a shield over yourself a little bit, like for one direction. Long range combat in this game is really weak. Like sniping is a really weak playstyle. I don't really mind it. I feel like the game rewards aggression, and I think that's a good thing, for at least for me and my playstyle. So it doesn't really bother me, but it does kind of take away from some of the tactical aspects and positioning aspects of other battle royales. Because when you have a lot of health in this game, the sniper rifles don't really one-shot people. Besides the Kraber, which you can get from supply drops, it's like a pretty rare weapon though. And you still have to headshot them. You can't just body shot them in one hit. They kill you kind of slow, and there's a lot of healing items. There's a lot of ways to cover yourself and get back to cover and get revived. So because of that, a lot of long range fights are just essentially wasting your ammo and wasting your medical supplies, and the fight's really only going to end when one team closes distance with the other and you have a close range fight with assault rifles and shotguns and SMGs and stuff. Again, I don't mind it. You might not like it. It's just going to be on the player and what you like. So now one of the things that I just don't like. I did mention it has really good feeling gunplay earlier, but the weapon balance I don't think is very good. The automatic weapons really need attachments to be effective. They don't have much damage. They have a lot of recoil. You can get rid of the recoil, and then you'll have pretty good DPS with them because they're automatic, but they don't have that much damage. Once you have attachments, you can get rid of that recoil. Also, the attachments... One thing that drives me nuts with attachments is that basically all of the base weapons in the game have about somewhere between like a 15 and a 20 round magazine. Most of the semi-automatic burst or assault rifles, and some of them are closer to 10. You basically have to get an extended magazine to get above 20, and even then the best extended mags in the game for the most part will get you like 30 rounds. So it's like you're living in California and everyone's just decided that high capacity magazines are evil, even though you're at war and you literally need them. But so that annoys the shit out of me. I feel like an extended mag should be an extended mag, not it should be like 40, 50, 60 rounds, not 30. The combat in this game, you reload constantly. Like the opener clip to this video, I couldn't kill 2 dudes with 1 mag with near perfect accuracy. That was an 18 round mag. That's the way it comes fully loaded. I had to stab someone else to death. So I just think that's a bit obnoxious. The a specific weapon that I think is terrible, the triple take. It's a sniper rifle that shoots 3 bullets. Sounds kind of cool, but they're horizontal. So like you do less damage with that than what like the low rate of fire, low recoil sniper rifle, the G7 Scout, which I can use at basically any range. I think it's a monster. It's my favorite gun in the game. But the triple take does less damage than that, shoots slower, because it only hits 1 bullet at a time at most sniper rifle ranges. So I don't know, there's just some really questionable weapon balance decisions in my opinion in this game, and it limits a lot of it. In my opinion, well, it limits use of automatic weapons, and some of the other specific weapons, like pistols, are terrible, but I mean, usually they are. In my opinion, the burst weapons and the semi-autos are the way to go, and then like obviously shotguns. I've had some success with the full autos, but I feel like the Hemlock 3-round burst AR and the G7 Scout, which is like the more the single shot assault rifle or like DMR sort of weapon, are by far the best. Yeah, the other thing, there's 2 pistols in the game, the Mozambique, well there's 3. The Mozambique, the RE45 Auto, and the P2020 are all basically terrible. And there's another pistol, the Wingman, which is the high damage revolver, which is almost overpowered. It does 45 damage a shot, which is more than any semi-automatic, well, it's more than all the assault rifles per shot, even the semi-automatic Scout that I was mentioning earlier. But it has... The gun jerks. It jerks in a big way on the screen, but your aim is still centered. So as long as you can keep the guy in the center of your screen, you just keep pounding him. That thing is borderline OP. So, and you can use it like a sniper rifle. You can get some pretty stupid range with it. I've seen some like, I've heard people mention Shroud using it like a sniper rifle and just kind of wrecking whole teams with it. So, I don't know. There needs another weapon balance pass here. The last thing I just want to mention about weapon balance is I've kind of been getting at this the whole time to some extent. The DPS, damage per second, is highly variable between weapon classes, between weapons. So that just makes your time to kill feel inconsistent. It can really feel like sometimes you're just getting pounded with bullets and you don't really have to care, and other times it feels you just get instantly melted. I think that's, again, we just need another balance, another pass at weapon balance, and kind of make sure that some of these things get more in line with each other. One thing that I mentioned before with verticality, there is some sections of the map that have these giant watchtowers overlooking them, like huge, like 10 stories or so, I'd say, maybe more above the rest of the area. Those areas of the map are where the verticality thing that I really like really falls apart. If a team gets positioned on their right and there's a circle that closes right so it's hard to approach them, that can really dominate, and I think that that's just really bad design because it just rewards them way too much for that position. I know a lot of other battle royales reward positioning a lot, and you know, I think that's valid. If you're like uphill from someone or have better cover, that's fine. You know, I don't think that that shouldn't be a factor. But I think that these watchtowers, it's too much. It's too good of a position. I hope that they rework them in some way or revisit that. I don't think it's good for the game at all. I'll try to get like a screenshot or a clip of one of these positions so I can show you guys it. But man, I don't like it at all. I don't like how that impacts fights and stuff. The last thing I wanted to mention is just that map design could be improved. Basically the thing I want to get at, why I think it could be improved here, is just that it needs more cover. There's lots of really, really open areas of the map, and I realize that a lot of people will say that's just the nature of Battle Royale, but, you know, in games like PUBG, there's a lot of care taken to make sure that there's kind of a lot of random debris, rocks, trees, and there's slight, you know, there's more changes in the terrain to have slight hills, slight trenches, slight dips and things to allow you to use the terrain as cover. There's not a whole lot about that in this game, and not a whole lot of that. I feel like in comparison to like some of the more recent PUBG maps like Miramar or Vikendi or what was the tropical map, Sandhawk. I feel like that's kind of a weak spot. Or a Blackout. Blackout's another good example. There's a lot of cover on that map compared to this, which I feel like this contributes to getting stuck between 2 or 3 other teams a lot and just getting destroyed because you're kind of stuck in the open and multiple teams are focus firing you. Which of course is going to happen sometimes. It happens in any battle royale, but I feel like at least in our experience so far, or my experience, me and my friends, this has been happening to us more often in this one than the other ones, and I think it's a combination of it having a pretty small map compared to other ones, as well as this lack of cover. So yeah, I think that could be improved as well. But hopefully if we see more maps come out, or if they make changes to this one, they'll just add more kind of cover around. That's one of my biggest, well, I don't know about, anyway, it's annoying. I still love the game. I still think it's the best battle royale to date. I still highly recommend that you check it out, despite the things I dislike about it, because the things that I like about it are greatly outweighed. I really do think Respawn has outdone themselves here. I think this is a great game, and I've been playing. Like I said, I've played it for 30 hours now, and it just came out 4 days ago. As soon as I'm done recording this, I'm gonna play it again all night and stream it, and then probably render this video out over the morning or as I sleep, and then play more of it. Like, I love this game. It's great. I highly recommend you check it out for all the reasons I said below, before, whatever you want to say. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you checking out my review of Apex Legends. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed that video, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so you know when I upload more. My Discord server, Twitch, Patreon, and all my other social media are in the description if you want to follow me, get in touch, or support the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great day.